comment, like, and subscribe. What's up, YouTube? No, this isn't the TTSaleen. It's actually sitting right over there undercover. I'll show you real quick. AKA the hate train. But this is a good friend of mine. His name's Linwood. He's had this car for a lot of years. I want to say probably 15 years at least. And it's real close to what my car looks like. But first giveaway is he's got the big S351 wing, and it's a GT. He's got the GT body kit on it, you know, but does have the chrome Saleen wheels, which is what I got for him years ago. Got the black interior, got a different kind of cow hood on it. But what's cool, this is a 2-valve built motor, 4.6 engine, built by Melvin at Fastlane Motorsports previously, and it's got a Vortex supercharger, all tuned by Caleb at Fast and Rowdy. And this thing makes like 575 horsepower on E85 with a 5-speed transmission and a twin disc McLeod clutch. Really cool car. He just got through spending some money on it, trying to update it with a fuel system, with the twin pumps, the big line and everything. But he had a problem. He brought it to me, and the problem was his dash cluster here, the lights quit working. He said he was going down the road and all of a sudden they all went off. So I told him it probably wasn't a bulb, probably something else. So what I did is I went in here and I pulled everything out. I started tracing the wires. Let me turn on my light so you can see. And first thing I thought was maybe it's the headlight switch. So I put a brand new headlight switch in it. And when I pulled the one out, it didn't look that old. So somebody must have changed it at one point. You'll see I got a jumper wire ran here. On this side of the cluster, the blue wire with the red stripe is for illumination. That's your positive. And then over here, this is all your grounds. So you got a ground, what is it, 3, 4, 5. Position 5 is a ground there. So you had a broken wire here. I fixed that. But then he was not getting voltage here from the switch. So I couldn't find any breaks in the line. So what I did was I just tapped into here and I ran a wire over to feed it. And that also feeds the rest of the circuit. And when I turned it all on, you can see down here the fog light switch is illuminated. I'd pulled all this out. See, he had some other wiring in here for some old neons that don't work anymore, and the little adapter for it here, the little module. And I couldn't get that to work. What I saw was these skint wires up, and it was all laying in here by his emergency brake. So I'm gonna have to clean all this up. But for now, I have fixed the cluster. I plugged in and everything works great. I had the radio out. Whoever put this tack in here kind of ran the wires like this, which I don't like. So I'm gonna try to clean that up a little bit, make it look a little neater, and just put it back together. But also, he told me it didn't want to go into gear. It was real hard to shift and go into gear. So I looked, it's got a firewall adjuster, it's got a quadrant and all that. But I want to show you, I found the problem. If you can look up in here, see the quadrant there? Well, it may be hard to see because that insulation. Let me see if I can do this. Get that out of the way. The cable is not quite seated. See it on this, it's on the left side. See how the cable, it's not seated in the channel. So when you try to push the clutch, it doesn't move. It needs to be in this channel. Now this is for no firewall adjuster. The one with it's further back. So I have to loosen the cable, put it back in the track and tighten it up. But that's exactly why it's not releasing the clutch all the way. So I'm gonna fix it. It's a rookie mistake, whoever did it. They just put it on and it kind of fell out of track. So I'm gonna fix that. And then his clutch will work properly. his lights will work, and he told me if I could address any of the small things on it while it's here to do it. So what I noticed was under the license plate, only one bulb's working, not the other. So I'm going to change the bulb in it. That'll be fixed. I'll just give it a once over, especially all the electrical. And his fog lights don't work. So I know we're getting power down here now for at least the illumination. I've got to check these wires and see if it's getting power when you turn on the headlight switch. Because if you're not, then that's why it's not sending it through the fog lights. And he wants the fog lights to work. Other than that, just some quick troubleshooting. Again, it wasn't too hard to diagnose. I pulled the cluster apart, put it on my workbench and hooked power to it, and it worked. So I knew it wasn't a bulb problem. Kind of find out it's in that harness. So just figured I'd share that with you. Sometime you got to troubleshoot the gremlins, which aren't the fun jobs. They're a real pain. And it took me a little bit of time to figure it out, but it was pretty simple. And now fix these little things with the clutch and the fog lights, and he should be pretty close to done. So it's a really nice car. He should be real happy when he gets it back from me. All right, I have fixed the lights. The fog lights work, the dash lights work. I even fixed his 12-volt adapter, so now that works when the key's on. So I just got on the lift. I want you to see this. Apparently this little splash shield has come down and it was hanging like this. You can see there's supposed to be some little Christmas tree fasteners that hold this up, so I'll fix that. And I'll also go in here and I'll drill a hole in this and put a tie around it so it keeps it sturdy. That'll fix that. No problem. And while I got it here, I figured I'd just look at everything. When he pulled in, it was making a squeaking noise. He said, "Ma'am, I just got new bearings and all that, and this thing just making a noise." I said, "I bet it's easy to fix." I told him typically these shields get bent when people work on it and they don't realize it's touching the rotor. Check it out. It's definitely touching right here. See, watch, so I'll try. This is how you fix it. You just bend it out of the way. Fixed. See, it's been rubbing so long, look at that. Crazy, right? But anyway, now that's fixed. I'll make sure it's got plenty of room all the way around, and it does. Check this side. Just get a little extra. That's it, so another problem fixed. I had to loosen the firewall adjuster, so tighten it all the way into the wall to give me slack in the cable. And his quadrant has 3 prongs on it. It's in the 2nd prong. And what happened, whoever put the cable in, they missed the 3rd prong where you got to put it in the channel, and that's why I wasn't pulling the clutch properly. So I've now fixed that, put the cable in the track, but before I go tighten up the firewall adjuster, I'm gonna go ahead and take the slack out down here, where I thought I was. Oh, it's not adjustable cable. Okay, so I guess I'm not gonna do that. That's interesting. I guess I'm just gonna go adjust the firewall adjuster all the way out. And I don't like those all the way out, but since he doesn't have an adjustable cable, which I thought he did, that's what you have to do. So I just check it out while I got on the lift, go over everything. All right, it's a good thing I checked this. I was looking at it all under just to see how everything looked, and it looked okay. But here's what I didn't like. Check that out. So with the long tubes, this basically wiring harness running across, it is laying on the header so much that it has melted the edge of it there. So I'm gonna try to tie this up away like that and tie it up in here so it's not literally laying on the header. Not good, but it happens. Basically shove it up there. I'll put a cable tie right here and it should be good to go. No problem, but that's definitely why you check it. And that also explains why I smelled this weird kind of burning smell when it came in. So go figure. Anyway, finding problems that you know he had, fixing them, just so it won't be a fire hazard. This is what the motor looks like. Vortex supercharged, 2-valve, don't see them much anymore. Adjusted the clutch, adjusted the firewall adjuster till it had hardly any gap in it, and then had a feel for it. So if it's real close to the bottom versus real close to the top, you can adjust it in or out till you get it to where you like it. I like it to have about 3 or 4 inches off the bottom before it starts engaging, and that's what it's doing. I've got this thing ready to go, except for when you open the doors, interior light doesn't come on. And he told me on the other side, there's a little switch that goes in and out, and somehow it broke and fell into the door. So he just pulled the bulb out so it wouldn't run the battery down. So I've got the door panel off of this GT. And I reached in, had to take the door panel off, get the speaker out of the way. This is the mechanism here and see how it's in the open position. When you shut the door, it closes it, right? Well, apparently this was on the door and it was plastic, and I guess it just kind of broke out like that. And so that's why it wouldn't stay in place anymore. So it's kind of simple design. All right, doing a test drive, make sure the clutch feels good. You can see it's dropping into gear. How about all the interior lights working though, right? Fog lights on, everything's lit up, it's great. That airbag light was off and I had the cluster out, I could have fixed it. See, the clutch is releasing about halfway. Okay, everything's good. Just got to fix that door switch 2 days before it comes in. So I'm just going to get the car out, make sure it's good to go. But right now, everything you brought it to me for is fixed and ready to go. Mufflers are rowdy. Oh yeah, she'll get down. I tell you, the suspension's all over the road. I feel like his shocks are probably shot. He's got a set of Takiko Blues front and rear. And it feels like it's wandering a lot, but he also has stock control arms top and bottom in the back, and I'm sure that's not helping. Other than that, it runs good. It is strong, man. You know, you don't need over about 600 for a fun street car, and it's right there at about 560, 575. But it is loud, man. This thing is rowdy. Light does come on about 6,400. Get some of the 2-valve. Yeah, that is really bugging me. I'm gonna have to fix that airbag light. Till next time. All right, so still working on the 97. He called me, we were talking last night, and he said, man, my odometer and the speedo doesn't work. Hasn't worked for a while. And I said, man, that's a common problem. They make an odometer repair kit, which looks like this. It's got these little plastic gears on it, and they're mounted right in here. So what we got to do is take this off to get to it, prise the old one out, put the new ones in, and then everything will start working. Very common, especially in the 94 to 98 models. But a little trick here, you take the front lens cover off, and then you'll have the whole thing sitting here. You want to pull out both left and right side modules first, which is the gas gauge and the oil pressure gauge. Pull those out first because there's little tabs right here. If you try to pull this off in the middle first, it'll break those tabs. So you just take a little screwdriver, prise up on each corner, pop it out. They're just in sockets like that. Then once you get it out, there's little plastic pointers here that go here. Pull those out so they don't break, and then get you a nice soft tile, just because you want to push on and mess up these. And then just put it here, and then you twist this. Just use a little screwdriver, bend the tabs up just slightly so you don't break it, and then that pops out like this. And then in here you can see where it's missing some things. And we'll roll this around here so you can see it. But if you look right here, see where there's teeth missing here and it's cracked. This is what we're going to pop straight out, and then we're going to pull this gear off and replace it with the new pieces. Want everything out of there nice and clean, so that's ready to go. Look at all these broken pieces. Very common. So you simply take your new gear like this, got it in here like so. Just pop it into place. I did cheat, take my screwdriver and push it down, and then you want to make sure you can roll it. See there? Works great. Just a little bit. And push it on, like so. He just reversed the procedure. Slide this down in here, like that. And we turn it to lock it in place. That's all it is to it. Pretty simple. Now when this turns, it's gonna have a worm gear there and it turns this, and the odometer is gonna work great. Putting it back together, put your housing here, slide this down, it's got locating tabs here, and just kind of push around the perimeter evenly. That's in. Then we can do this side, same thing. Lines up, push it down, make sure it's fully seated. Then we'll do the other side, same thing, line it up, push it down, and we're good to go. I also put my little plastic pointer holders here. So now, I just turn this like this, and then we can put our lens cover on. Before I put it on, I'm going to wipe it off, because it does get dirty over time, a little dusty in here. Okay, nice and clean. Now we'll pop this on. You may be wondering what this is. This had some light in it that worked and kind of glowed. It had this kind of adapter and a power supply, but the power supplies, one didn't work, the other one was putting out voltage. When I plugged it in, it shorted out. So there's some short in this thing. I don't even think they make this anymore. But because he's got this bolted on, a normal lens cover won't fit. So I've either got to take these off and get a lens cover or leave it. I'm gonna leave it because he might just like the look.